Hi guys, how are you doing? Happy New Year. I'm so glad you've tuned in. My name is Winfred. For those of you who are watching for the first time, for those of you who have been watching, the returning subscribers, I'm honored that you've tuned in. Thank you so much. Today we are going to be making plantain frittatas, and they're so easy. This is a dish that is common in Nigeria. You will love it, and it's easy and simple. The ingredients are those that you could easily get. Now join me as we learn how to make plantain frittatas. We are going to be using eggs. I'm going to use 10 eggs simply because my servings are more. I'm going to use some thyme, salt, black pepper, turmeric, and this is a seasoning with chili in it. I just like to use this because it gives some spice and kick to my plantain frittatas. I'm also going to use onions, garlic, chopped up tomatoes, green pepper, and sausages. Now these are my plantains. Like I said, my servings are more, and because they are more, that's why you see I've got more than one plantain. Plantain, for those of you who have seen it in Uganda, is gonja. That's how we call it in Uganda. But for my friends in America, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya, you call it plantain. In Uganda, we call it gonja. So for those of you who have always known that plantain is roasted or just fried, you're welcome, because this will show you a different way of preparing plantain that is also exciting, interesting, and can be added to your menus. Now what I'm trying to do is slice up my plantain, and then once I'm done slicing it up, I'm going to be heating up my oil on the pan, because these have to be fried, deep fried until golden brown before I actually use them. So what I'm doing is peeling and taking off the peel, revealing that soft bit of the plantain. And as you can see, it is easy to peel. So for those of you who have never done it this way, try it. You will love it. It has to be ripe, whichever state, either too ripe or just medium ripe, that's okay. As long as it's easy to peel, then that's good, and you can always make your plantain frittatas easily. It is always good to learn new recipes and different ways of cooking the same things that you've always had. On this channel, we try to make it about easy meals, readily accessed, quick, and you get to eat like royalty, even when you know that you're probably far from that. These are some of the meals that you could eat out and be charged expensively, but can be made at your own home, and you and your family or friends can enjoy. Special shouts go out to Erica Kazungu. Thank you so much for always watching. Also shouts go out to Elijah Mayanja and your wife. Thank you for subscribing. And for all of you that have just subscribed, thank you so much. This goes out to you. You're welcome to the channel where it's about easy meals. Now, my servings are many, and because they are many, I'm using more than one plantain. But if your servings are few, go ahead and just use about one plantain or two. My servings are 7, so because it's 7, I'm using more plantain just so everyone can have a feel of this. Now, time for me to fry my plantains. But this is the bowl that I've lined with a tissue that will hold my plantain from fire. Right now, my pan is heating up the oil, preparing for me to fry. But as it's doing its thing, I'm going to heat up some eggs. Remember, I say 10 eggs. You can go ahead and use any number depending on your servings, but I'm using 10 simply because my servings are more. In the meantime, my oil is heating up and preparing to fry my plantain. Now I've broken my eggs, but I need to check on my plantain that is frying so that it doesn't burn. And all I'm looking for is that golden brown color. So before I go back and beat my eggs, these have to be already frying. Now you try and detach them because they are ripe. They could stick to each other easily. So if you see any that are attached, you try and split them so that you're able to work with just one by one plantains. Because we remember we are going to use them to layer our egg and plantain frittatas. So we need to make sure they are detached. Now, if you're frying them, your heat has to be medium heat so that they don't burn but cook. They need to cook through, so on medium heat, go ahead and fry your plantain. These are called frittatas. They are a Nigerian dish. You will love it and thank me later, because it gives a new twist to cooking of eggs and plantain. For those of you who have been always aware of plantain, in Uganda, those who have been cooking gunja via just roasting and frying, this is another nice way that you will enjoy eating your plantain. Now my plantain is about to get ready. This should cook at for about 5 minutes on medium-low heat. If your heat is too hot, they will burn up but not be ready. So I'll let those sit and go back to whisking of my eggs and make sure they come out nicely mixed. This is the normal whisking, guys, that we do. So in case you're wondering, it's the normal way of whisking. I'm going to add my spices. This is thyme, salt, black pepper, a little bit of turmeric, and the chili mixture that I told you about, just to give my frittatas that kick. Now you go ahead and mix and make sure it's nicely blended and let it sit. If you have sausages and you had not yet mixed and you had not yet sliced them up, go ahead and slice them. I'll show you how I've done mine. You first pre-cook them, then you slice them. That way you're able to get this shape. Otherwise, if you do it any other way, see how I sliced mine? If I was to do it when they are raw, I would not be able to get this. Or it would be a bit messy, but I'll get there. So whichever is easier for you, that's my way. That's the easiest way for me, so that's what I've done. Now I've finished whisking my eggs. Time for me to check on my plantain, see how it's doing. This takes time, guys, to cook, but you're looking for that golden color. If your plantain is really ripe, very, very ripe, it should give you that brown color quickly. But mine was ripe, just right, so it takes a bit of time. This should be in about 5 minutes and I'll have that golden color. Depending on your heat, I reduced my heat so they cook thoroughly. I don't want them crispy, I just want them ready. So I'm looking for that color, and once I see it, then I'll be able to take them off and use them. My plantain and drain it of all the oil and let it sit while I work on other ingredients. Try and not overcook them lest they become hard, and you don't want them hard, you want them still soft so that they can be able to blend easily with the rest of the ingredients. So I'm taking out mine. They are not thoroughly cooked, but they are almost there, and the beauty about this is they'll be able to absorb the ingredients and blend well with the rest of the ingredients, and they won't be hard to bite through. So go ahead and do the same. I'm going to take off my oil and use the same pan to fry my next ingredients. And as you can see, this is quite easy, guys. So if you find yourself with plantain, try this as well. It will be good for your family. You will love it, and then be able to add it to your menus. Now, time for me to prepare another pan for frying of my other ingredients. Now, I'm just going to saute my onions, garlic, so that when I use them, they've already been cooked a bit, not browning. I just need them to stimulate the aromas that are in the garlic and onions, so that my frittatas can have the aromas of garlic chopped up into thin slices and onions. And then I'm going to add the tomatoes. This should be for about 2 minutes. Remember, they are going to be baked. They are options. For those of you who don't have ovens, you can go ahead and fry them on the cooker and then cover with your frying pan so that they can cook thoroughly inside. Now I'm adding the tomatoes. Already the aromas in the room, guys, is something else. So once this is done, I'm going to add my sausages so that the ingredients get to blend. Special shouts go out to you, Christine Walisili. Thank you so much for subscribing, my sister. I'm hoping we'll be catching up soon. And your husband Ronald will see this. Thank you so much for watching. Now, I don't need these to get ready. I just needed them to blend and get to know each other well before I use them. So I'm going to take off the heat and show you what happens next. Now I'm going to add my sausages. And mix. I'm also going to use some turmeric just to give it a bit of color. Remember, I used half a teaspoon earlier, so now I'm just going to use just a little bit of it to give this a bit of color. Now in my egg is time, so if you have time, please go ahead and use it. I'm using half a teaspoon of turmeric just for a little bit of color. Now I'm just mixing so that the spices and the ingredients are all blended, then I'll take off. Once you see you've got that desired blend, then you can turn off the heat and we get to the mixing bit. Now guys, like I said, my servings are more, and because they are more, I'm going to use the baking tray. Remember, you heat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then as your oven is being preheated, you'll be able to bake after that. But if you're not going to bake, like I said, if you don't have an oven, you go ahead and get a frying pan that has a cover so that you are able to cover, and it can be cooking on the top as well, just as it's cooking on at the bottom. So now I've finished brushing my tray with some oil to keep my ingredients from sticking. Now time for me to blend, to mix up my ingredients. Now here what I'm going to do is, in my egg mix that has all the other ingredients, my sausages have been cooling with the garlic and onions. Now time for me to bring them to the bowl where the eggs are. If you're not making for many, you just go ahead and pour your eggs on top of the frying pan. But because mine are more, I need to transfer to a bigger work area or surface area so that they can cook easily and freely. And now that I'm done, I'll mix these and then pour them out on the tray that I've just oiled. Now they are already mixed. Time for me to pour. Now you evenly spray them out. These will cook and come out different from what you see now, as long as they're evenly spread. Now in the gaps, I'm going to put my plantain that I fried. Remember the plantain we worked with? And the bell peppers. If you have green bell peppers, go ahead, use those. If you have red ones, use those. Yellow, green, whatever it is you have, you can just go ahead and add them now. The reason I'm putting them at this time is because the bell peppers tend to overcook and lose color. So when you do it at a different time, you can be able to see the green as you put it in. You go sprinkling it in all the gaps so that there is enough green to go around. And now I'm going to bring in my plantain and fill it in the gaps. Once they cook, these will be amazing. So you spread them out very well And these frittatas will be loved because they are a new twist. For those of you who have never tried handling gonja or plantain this way, it will be a new twist, common in Nigeria, West Africa. Why not? I mean, we have the same things. We could try new things at the same time. Even East Africa can try this way of cooking because we have the same things. Plantain is common. Now what I'm doing is spreading out, as you can see, and once they get to the heat in the oven, they will speak some nice language in there, and what I'll get on the plate will be totally different. This could be a snack, it could be breakfast, it could be brunch, it could be an evening meal, a snack, whatever it is you consider it as. Trust me, these frittatas would be that. Now I've finished spreading out my plantain. Time for me to take them to the oven and they bake. This will be for about 10 minutes. And then once the 10 minutes are up, I should be able to show you how it looks and serve. Our plantain frittata is ready. Time for me to slice and show you how it would all look at the end of the day. For those of you who started from the beginning, you remember what we put in here. You can go ahead and cut any shape. I'm just going for squares. Guys, this will taste amazing. It's got a mixture of sausages, the plantain, and the vegetables. So this is how mine would look. You can go ahead and have many servings. And just to show you how soft it is, I'll dig in and then show you. This can go by itself, or you can go ahead and put some tomato sauce. I for one will just go for it the way it is because it's got a bit of everything, and this would be lovely, guys. The salt is not overpowering. You can taste the turmeric, the green bell peppers, the plantain. Trust me, they will love it. So go ahead and add it to your menu. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. It's tasty. Until next time, God bless and bye-bye.